Twinset and Purl's knitting podcast. We've just been having a little bit of straightening issues with the camera.
But we're here. It's episode 66.
Yeah. Back with a proper episode this week.
It's 1st of March.
Yeah. Happy St. David's Day.
Yeah. We were watching Nellie and Eve's podcast last night, weren't we? And she was talking about, she lives in Wales, so it's a bigger deal, I think.
Yeah.
She's
got an update today.
Yeah.
So if you, sorry, my hair's really irritating.
If you check out the Rachel Shawl, which we talked about in a couple of episodes ago, or before, in the we talked about in the podcast, in the bonus episode as well, then she's got her shop update for kits for the Rachel Shawl.
So before we get into all that, I'm Jo.
And I'm Rachel.
This is knitting. This is Twinset and Purl's knitting podcast.
We talk about knitting. Believe it or not.
As usual, it's we don't edit. You'll realise.
So welcome to anybody who's new. This is going to be a general.
It's got to be of everything, I think.
Normal episode / poo show. No. Shouldn't have said that. Don't say bad word. Can't say the S
So before,
word.
are we? So before we get into all the admin and all of that, let's just talk about a bit what we've been. So it's been 2 weeks since we
went to Unravel.
And we podcast after that.
So anything exciting happened?
I had a knitting catch up with my friend Lizzie. She's moved. I live in Bristol, which is in the southwest of the UK, and my friend Lizzie has moved in the last 6 months to Clevedon, which is just down the coast a bit, and it's beautiful. It's got some beauty. She's got an amazing view from her new flat, and we often meet up down there. Oh, she comes to Bristol as well, but we do meet up to go and have tea and cake on the seafront, and this
sounds
week,
idyllic.
Yeah, so I went on Saturday afternoon, and the weather was amazing. We've had some really miserable weather, and it was sunny. We sat outside and knit. It was amazing, and they do really good cake. And it's 5 The Beach is the cafe, and they do some really good cake.
We'll have to go there. Maybe when I can.
Yeah, it's a lovely place.
I've been to Bristol for a while.
Yeah, so I met up with Lizzie, and then this week was knit night in my knit group. So the knit group is held at a pub called the Star and Dove in Totterdown. Anybody in Bristol who fancies coming and joining, we meet the 2nd and 4th Thursdays of every month, which can be there's usually somebody saying, is it this week? It's a bit, it's not every.
They've got a WhatsApp group, but if you're interested, just get in touch with you.
Yeah, or Meg at No Frills. She's admin on the group, I believe. And we met up on Thursday. It was really good fun. There were makes people, crocheters, knitters. It's quite people younger than me, should we say. And it was really good. It's called Knit and Chat. And we had a really good time. So, and everybody's willing to help. Anybody who's got, like, one girl was just knitting her first sock, and she had some questions, and it was just lovely. And we sit and have a drink, and some of us get food, and it's nice. The guy who owns the pub always makes a comment about how he wants to learn to knit, and we're like, well, we don't teach people to knit. But if you learn to knit, you can join the group.
You're very welcome.
Yeah. So we had a lovely time. So that's what I've been mostly doing, because other than that, it's just work, and nobody wants to hear about that.
No. So I just wanted to say quickly that there's a couple of reasons. So we were going to Zoom, and we haven't. You probably noticed we haven't announced a Zoom. When we got back from Unravel, at the first week, you weren't feeling very well. You were off work, weren't you, for a couple of days? And then at home, we've had a heat pump fitted, but not destruction, that's the wrong word.
Disruption?
Yeah, the disruption to the house was immense. Well, not immense, but like basically
It's nearly every room, isn't
yeah,
it?
the heating was off. It was really cold that week. The heating was off. They were changing radiators in every room. The front door was open, the back door was open, the patio doors were open all day. So I, for the first morning, managed to stay cocooned in the bedroom.
Then they turned the water off, and
there was I couldn't flush the toilet and stuff like that. So I ended up having a mini break in Didcot.
I think that might have been my idea.
Yeah, I think it was your idea. And I stayed.
I was like, why are you there? Just go to a hotel.
Up the road is a Marriott Courtyard Hotel, which is very lovely. And
quite a nice place to stay if you ever fancy like
going
to Newbury Yarn Show.
It is a nice place.
Or Oxford Yarn Store.
Yeah. And so I stayed there for a few nights in the warm, and
they've got a Costa over the road. They've got Marks
it poured with rain. I got absolutely drenched going to get a coffee. There was coffee in the room, but there was like, anyway, whatever. It was lovely.
Normal coffee.
It was lovely. I did lots of knitting and watching TV, and just basically, and then Mark and I did see my husband. We went out for dinner each night, and
he was supervising the installation, making sure
because he knows all about it. And so that was, but it's been amazing. I have to say that if your house will take one, they changed loads of radiators. It was all done with a government grant, apart from about £400, and the house is so much warmer, isn't it? And the water's amazing. Sorry, I got a bit croaky, so I coffee mid sentence, but so that was the week before this one, just gone. Yeah. It actually was amazing because I was in the hotel, I could have my weekly chat with Maggie, which I wouldn't have bothered having if I'd been here in the chaos. I think it was the drilling into the masonry above my head, that felt like it was above my head, that was the last what do they say?
The straw that broke the camel's back.
But yeah, so I can thoroughly recommend having a mini break where you live, and if you could afford it. I know it's a luxury, but I was actually thinking that I might do it every couple of months. When you just look at like a night in a hotel, because I love going to a hotel.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean.
But next time we meet up, we're going to
not a hotel, is it? We're going to
it's a hotel with a 2-bedroom apartment.
Right. I thought it was like an Airbnb.
No, it's a hotel.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so
we haven't put that on our list.
Oh no.
Things to talk about.
Well, should we go back to our state now? We're going to East Anglia Yarn Festival. Both days. We're getting in our tickets for 11 o'clock on the Saturday.
Yeah, so we're driving up on Saturday morning,
and then we're staying in the hotel. Hopefully going out seeing some of our Dyer friends, and we'll be back on there on the Sunday. And so if you're going, drop us. A few people have said, we've mentioned it before, a few people have said they're going, but drop us a message.
We should just work out
a little time and space to meet people. Well, it's quite nice to bump into people when you're walking around. And we're not doing anything like you did at Unravel.
No, I was just thinking, like, if we could say we're having a cup of tea at 2 o'clock.
Oh, right. People can come and knit with us.
Yeah. Or just sit and chat if they want.
Yeah. Well, we can do that.
Yeah.
We don't know how many.
We don't even know where.
We'll post on Instagram when we get there, I think, where we're going to be, and that we've arrived okay and everything's all right. But it was so lovely to see. We saw so many people at Unravel.
Yeah.
So many. It was like exponentially more.
Yes.
And people, because we said come and say hello to us, whatever. A lot more people did.
Yeah.
So it was lovely.
Yeah. And we've got the Clare Shawl coming out.
Oh yes, we have.
For that.
And
so one week left of the test knit, and then a week for me to do some edits. And then we're ready to go.
Brilliant. So we've just got a couple of ad mini bits.
Yeah.
So
it's the end of the month, obviously the end of February.
Yeah.
So we've got a winner from our
T&P.
What is it called? T&P.
It's what T&P pattern are you knitting? And each month we pick
that's in the Ravelry group.
We pick we just pick a winner from what we like.
So that's not random. But the Giftaway from Unravel, we've picked that winner as well, and that was done with a random comment picker.
I can show you that. And it was, and we celebrated our 5k followers on Instagram. So that was exciting.
It's all happening.
Yes. So
the 5,000th follower.
Oh yeah.
We bought them a pattern.
Yeah, and she was.
Did she have one of our patterns? She gave him one of our patterns.
And she was somebody's.
She was Helen from Nellie and Eve's friend.
Small world.
Yeah.
So, so the winner for the February, who is one Mary Ruth S, and she knit the Pine Forest bag socks, which is quite an old pattern of mine now.
She's been knitting them for a while. I think she said she'd got to a point and she'd
forgotten where she was.
Oh yeah, and then she picked them up and finished them, and they look lovely. I
think it's a cable, so, and it looks quite involved, but it is relatively easy once you start. So go and take a look at those if you fancy.
And the prize for that
is a pattern from Ravelry, up to the value of £10.
Doesn't have to be one of ours.
No.
It can be, but it doesn't have to be.
Yeah, so your name will be in the show notes, but if you watch this, obviously just message me on Ravelry, Twinsetandpurl, and tell me what pattern you'd like. Otherwise, if I don't hear from you in the first week of the video's been up, I will message you on Ravelry. And then the giveaway. Do you want to show the prize?
Yeah.
So this was things we picked up at Unravel for you guys. So there's a Mammy and Florrie sort of backpack project bag, which is quite handy.
Yeah, and a skein of their yarn,
which was donated by. Just to say, it was donated by Mammy and Florrie.
And it's called Paragliders over Mantor.
But you'll see in a minute the reason that it was picked.
And then there's a little notions pouch. And then in the notions pouch you get a set of progress keepers with spring tulips. Some random Parma violets and a little stitch markers that Jo made. Progress keepers and stitch markers that I made.
I'll put my glasses on a second. Very cute. And the winner is Lizknittinggirl.
I would say this was by Cold Harbour Mill, the little pouch.
And they make the fabric.
Yeah.
The tartan. So that's Lizknittinggirl, and her comment was, "Hi Rachel and Jo, thanks for another great show. I admit to quite a bit of FOMO hearing you talk about Unravel and showing your purchases. I particularly like the velvet project bag, which must elevate even the most mundane knit into luxury." That was the bag from Fruitful Fusion.
Yeah.
And she kind regards Liz, and she is from Mount Gambier, South Australia. So that prize will be
halfway around the world,
winging its way to you, Liz. So Jo will put the name in the show notes.
Yeah, and you just need to get in touch with us
and
let us know your address.
Yeah, that'd be perfect. So our email, everything you need to know is in the show notes.
Yes.
Our Ravelry link to our Ravelry group.
Yeah.
Ravelry page. Blah de blah de blah.
And we'll also be adding our new Facebook group.
Yes.
So we've been thinking about doing this for a while, and this morning we just were like, let's just do it. So we've set up a Twinset and Purl Knitting Podcast Facebook group. It's going to be private, so members only. So if you find, we'll put the URL in the show notes. If you click on that and request to join, one of us will check you out and then let you in.
And we
we just thought it was a nicer place for chatting,
like easier to chat than the Ravelry group.
Yeah,
because it's a bit clunky, and
it's like following the comments.
Yeah,
then, isn't it? If it's your post in Ravelry,
it's okay.
You see all the comments, but if it's not, it's a bit difficult. So we just thought that would be a nice place to share.
And honestly, I comment on things and then forget, and then think, where have I? You know, can't find it.
And also, like we can put announcements in there and stuff, which is it's a bit easier, I think.
Yeah. So that would be great if as many of you could join us. At the moment,
the light's weird today, don't you think?
It is a bit weird. At the moment, it's just me and Jo in the Facebook group.
Yeah,
Facebook group.
So you're all very welcome to join.
It's so funny
well, we have a Zoom. Everybody gets chats, don't they? And they get on really well. And I think it's just would be a lovely thing to have.
And people can post what they're knitting. I mean, it would be. We obviously want people to be kind and respectful and all that, and don't post. I mean, we're the admin, so we can.
And it wants to be about knitting. I don't think we want to be posting life stuff in there necessarily.
Not particularly. I mean, you might say, I stayed in bed and I'm knitting today.
Yeah, that kind of thing. But
yeah, so I think
we might make it a Donald Trump free zone.
Yeah, very much so. Politics free.
Yeah, life needs to be less Donald at the moment.
Yeah. So so that's one new thing, and the other new thing is we're going to start a new cow.
Yes.
New knit along. So.
And it's going to be a knit along because it's going to be based on the Botanical Yarn Sock Club. So Rachel designed 2 years of sock club. So there's 24 patterns, and you can knit any of those.
Yeah,
and to join in.
So they're all in the. You can get the podcast bonus discount off all of those patterns, and the ebooks. So the ebooks are the 4 quarters of each year, so 3 patterns.
So at the moment, our sock patterns are £4, and you get 3 patterns for £9.
That's the other notes what we were going to make. So any of those 4 patterns, 24 patterns, can be. And you can join in the sock along. There are simple ones, there are more complicated ones.
And we were going to have an added, if you knit them in a botanical yarn, then
botanical yarn.
Yeah, you will get an extra entry.
Yes. So that will all be on Ravelry, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you post, if you've knitted it in botanical yarn, just post twice. Post them twice.
Yeah, is everybody on? You have to get the pattern off Ravelry. So.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm making a noise. So
if you're not on Ravelry,
how would you get the pattern?
I know. I have sold them to people.
Is there anybody not on Ravelry?
I know. Who wants to join in?
If you really aren't on Ravelry and you want to join in,
just let us know, and we will manage a way of selling you the pattern through PayPal.
Yeah.
If you can't
even look at them.
You haven't got.
Well, you could look at them. They'll be on our. If you go back through our Instagram, you posted them every time, didn't you, on Instagram?
Yeah.
So you can see which patterns you like, and then there'll be a way of doing it.
Okay.
Oh, low battery.
Oops, what does 20%'s okay.
So
apologies for that. We better
hurry up.
Yeah.
So we've got a few prizes. We've got some skeins of botanical yarn to give away.
Jo's got a sock set that she looked at that she hasn't brought with her,
I've left it
which will probably be the main prize.
Yes. It's a skein of yarn with 2 minis.
With this bag and the stitch markers, which is our Easter-y theme, which I thought was kind of it's Easter time. And then these will be runners up prizes, but
spot prizes and things like that through. So it's going to run from today until the end of May.
Yeah.
So you've got 3 months
to knit us. And we don't want. Do you want FOs or just people joining in? Because if they post, we're going to have a chat thread and a FO thread, or just a...
I think we want to see FOs.
Okay, at least one sock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A hoe.
Finish a hoe, yeah. The postmen are walking around outside our house. So, yeah, so it's not, so we'll also announce it on Instagram, but we'll put the link to our Ravelry group or something, say something. Looking at the postman now. Right, so.
There's a woman, isn't it?
Is it? Oh yeah, that's a
They've
woman.
got a
That's a woman. No,
They've got a ponytail.
somebody walked past with,
Doesn't feed it.
somebody walked past with a hat before.
Right, okay.
Right, so next, yeah, we've got an order of something, order of play. I've put order of. The next thing is Joe's new design / FO.
So this is the olive, between olive and pine.
You should take it off.
Yeah, between olive and pine shawl,
which came out for
it was designed for Flock Fibre Festival, which is in Seattle in August
for Botanical Yarn,
and between olive and pine was where
the hotel was, where it's held.
So the olive and pine streets in Seattle, and Sophie had dyed this mini skein set to match a bag, fabric on a bag.
Yeah, and then there was another sample was done in the
blues, the Yorkshire blues. So the sample of this one was knit by a lady called Karen, and
blues was
knit by Maggie. I only knit half of mine and then wrote the rest of the pattern, and they knit it and tested the pattern. So we decided we were going to release it because it's been 6 months. I hadn't realised I hadn't actually finished. So this week I've knit half of the shawl.
But it's so pretty.
So it's pampas. The main colour here is pampas grass.
And it's a one skein.
Yes, it's one skein of pampas grass and
a set of minis, but you could use leftovers.
And you definitely, you don't use very much of the minis because there's 5 minis and you're putting a little bit of all of them in.
Yeah.
You could easily knit 2, if not more, if you've got more main skeins.
Sophie has got some amazing.
I don't think she has these minis anymore.
No, but she's had some amazing mini sets for like Valentine's and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So if you look on her website, well, she always has minis.
Yeah.
And I'm sure, but a lot of people. So
basically, you start at that end, and you.
So it's got this border.
Yeah, it's got a little border.
So this bit, that's the border.
Yeah,
and then it's got this like,
and you increase
kind of a mini a mini cluster stitch, isn't it?
Yeah. So it's not a straight stocking stitch. It's a little cluster, and you've got an I-cord edge on top, and then you take 2 of your minis and you do 2 colours, and then you take the one that you've done there, here, and you gradually. And I think it looks a bit it does look a little bit rainbowy.
Yeah.
And I love the neon peachy colour. Yeah.
So it's on offer until the end of tomorrow night, Sunday the 2nd of March.
Yeah. And
so
I will tween.
Yeah. So I will.
But all that information's on the.
And this will be posted before.
Yeah.
Posted now.
But it's just a nice little thing around your neck. If you know what I mean. I don't really sort of call it a scarf rather than a shawl.
Yeah.
But I always call them a shawl.
Yeah.
But it's you could wrap it around twice. It's long enough, I think, to go around twice if you really needed a.
So just very quickly, we forgot to say this. So a few people have mentioned to us, and they are, I suppose, I would say, biggest supporters of us. But they have said that they think that we should put our prices up, and we've thought about it a lot. And from the 1st of April, we're going to increase our prices. But of course, you still get the discount, and discounts when we first launch the pattern. So we are going to increase our
On everything?
Everything.
Yeah, not just new releases.
No, everything by, so sweaters will be £7, shawls will be £6, and socks will be £5. And we have, but we also have a lot of patterns. We've got free patterns, and we've got patterns that have Jo's added things to, which
yeah. So for the Simon and the Cecil, you now get the cowl.
Yeah. So we do think that our patterns are worth it, and so yeah. So we'll be doing that from the 1st of April. So up until then, if you want, you know, buy patterns basically with a discount. This is in the show notes, but just a little announcement for you. Yeah. So we don't need to.
No. Right. So that's my FO. I'm going to put my other FO on in a minute.
And just really quickly, what I'm wearing is just a massive sweater thing that I knitted last year after I'd had a disaster with a garment. I knitted this very baggy kind of short sleeve, short sleeve, and it was a mixture between the Hidden sweater by Vera Valimaki and what's that one that I knitted from Isabel Kramer?
May?
No. It's got the lace there.
I can't remember.
Well, a lot of her patterns have the same shaping. So, and it's a mixture between those two, and it has a long rib on the bottom, and the back I did a scooped hem. So it's a circular yoke, and it's very comfy, cozy.
Yeah.
And it has a shorter neck than the Hidden, but I like the ones that the neckline.
I'm just worrying about the battery. Can I go and get the power cable and plug it in over there? That long one.
There's a plug over there. You want to pause and do it, or
can you talk about something while
I can talk about an FO.
Talk about your FO, and I'll just go and sort that out.
So you need a plug though, which I think, oh no, let's take these, moved it.
I might have a plug up there.
Right, so my first, I suppose, I've been knitting this for a while and you've seen it. And actually, this is the same yarn, but a different colourway. So this is the Katia Merino tweed that's been discontinued that I love. And this was the one skein of navy blue that I had, and I knitted, it's called the Timeless Hat by Pearl Soho. I will try it on. And I've slightly modified it. They have like a really small garter edge, and I did about 4 rows of ribbing. And I did the size adult medium, I think. Actually, I have my book here so I can tell you. And I knitted 7 inches before I decreased for the brim, and I love it. I just wanted like a I didn't write down, but it's a free pattern and I cast on 156 stitches, but I did do it on a smaller needle than they do. I haven't blocked it or anything, so, but I kind of want to wear it slouchy with the back like that, with my hair down. And it's so soft, this merino tweed. I love it. So it's, yeah, I just one day last week just decided I got to the decreases, just going to finish it. And so it's quite a thick material. I haven't blocked it yet, but I will. And I know that it washes really well, this yarn, and it gets not felted, but kind of like denser the more you wash it. So, but this reminds me of a hat that I had when I was bald after my stem cell transplant, and loads of people bought me hats, and I had a few kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of a bit more like smarter ones. But my favourite hat was from Amazon, and it was like £4. It was a navy blue jersey beanie. So yeah, not that I want to be reminded of those times, but I did love that hat, and I'm going to love this hat. And when I finished it last week, I don't know if you remember the last time we talked about it, Jo loved the yarn as well and wondered if there'd be enough left over, and there was 50.1 grams left. So she has been gifted the leftovers to knit herself a little hat. Oh, just plug us in. Sorry everybody.
When I stood up, gravity took its toll and I had to have a wee.
It's fine, I just talked about the hat. So yeah,
well, I've got,
so that's my first defo.
and I've got,
leftover. And what else have you, what's your other, what FOs have you got?
So I finished my Blue Morris and I absolutely adore him.
Maybe you should put him on now.
He is just the softest, cushiest.
The colour is beautiful. It's just this, I don't know, it's so shiny, this lustrous, this yarn. Yes, everyone needs to go to Wensleydale Longwall. They're going to be at EYF.
Yeah.
EYF.
Look how big he is. This was the lace numbers as well.
You did end up using 5.
I ended up using almost 5 balls. Yeah,
50 gram.
5 50-gram balls there. Because I think there's like 170.
If it's kind of sport weight.
Yeah, 170 meters on
That's
there.
gorgeous. How many Morrises have you got on your needles now?
One that I'm going to unpick.
Are you?
Yeah. I decided I'm going to knit a Rachel.
It's going to have a little bit of.
I'm going to knit Rachel in that yarn rather than Morris.
Nice.
Yeah, no, I love him.
A little bit of buttonhole.
And I don't wear blue, but I think blue is.
It does. Blue's lovely.
I only wear blue jeans generally.
Blue is my colour.
Yeah. So yeah, I would definitely recommend this yarn. It's just, I don't know, I enjoyed every second of knitting it. It was just so nice on the needles.
It would be lovely, the cowl would be lovely in it because it would be so drapey.
Yeah, I probably got, I haven't got enough to do the cowl.
So they do, I might get
probably
lots of
got
them in
enough.
light grey.
They do lots of different colours, I think. I've probably got enough to do a hat in it.
Lovely.
I was thinking about the hat that I knit with the Fair Isle, the colourwork hat.
Oh yeah.
Knitting that with this as the colourwork, and like a beigey grey as the background.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah. So if I talk about these, then we'll talk about Dad and Fran.
Yeah.
Cool. So I finished these were Adriafil Calza sock is the yarn, and I bought it from Wool Bath, and so I've got 2. And it's 2x2 rib.
Yeah. Unwind sock blockers.
Yeah. And so it's 2x2 rib, normal heel flap and gusset. So they're kind of like just to the.
And did you enjoy knitting a 2x2 rib sock?
I enjoyed, the first one. Then, and also the leg is 80 rows because there's no ribbing. So that seems a bit of the second one was a little bit of a slog, but as soon as I got onto where you just doing it on the top, and I love this yarn. So it was really fun to knit because it was stripy but very small stripes.
And you managed to
very nearly.
The only thing you haven't got is the bit of the colour, the cast on is.
I think that was the first one. This is the second one. Yeah, because I don't know. Maybe that was the second one. yeah, because I did a bit of toe. That's got grey.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway.
Very almost.
Yeah.
Very almost a pair.
Yes. So we love those.
And you would never, I don't think you would ever put those colours together.
But they look amazing.
Yeah. That green with the pink.
Yeah.
I don't think you'd actually pick it, but it's lovely.
So, and I'm not buying, I was supposed to be buying yarn, but obviously last weekend at Unravel we broke the seal. But, and I have got one acquisition, but most of my yarn is going to be purchased at yarn shows. And I also don't need to buy any sock yarn, really, like this, you know, like commercial sock yarn. But
you don't get that in a non-commercial sock yarn, do you?
But I looked at the other colourways and none of them were as nice. So, yes. So, the information will be down below, and wool bath stock this sock yarn. And then I've got one more, and you've got one more. So they never go on sock. So
you've shown those before. So
yeah,
you can just...
they never go on sock blockers because they're humongous. So these are Dad's socks, which I did try and match, and they ever so slightly. Whenever I knit the second one, I think I'm looser, slightly looser.
Yeah.
So this is the first pair of the yarn that he sent me.
I think they're actually nice. I think he's gonna like them.
Yeah, King Cole Norse in the Odin colourway. So they're the first pair.
Did he pick it because he liked the colours?
Yeah, and I think when you looked at the skein, it was these paler colours mostly, which obviously it is because that's a long stretch compared to those. But yeah, I did quite enjoy knitting them.
I'm intrigued what they'd be like on a 64 stitch sock.
You say 87 year.
No, I'm just intrigued what it would look like. That's a big sock, isn't it?
Yeah,
and it looks okay. But I wonder what
72
it would...
compared to it. Yeah, and the pattern just changed all the way through. So it's quite like there. It's like a spiral thing almost. But yeah, it was enjoyable, and you know, they're just my vanilla. Anyway, now I've got to. I have once knitted a DK sock, but it was a pattern.
Oh right.
So it was different, and it was a sample. So I just it didn't have to fit anybody in particular. So now I'm going to try and.
Buy a pattern, or are you going to?
No, I'm going to use the Crazy Sock Ladies DK sock pattern. I'm going to go with the stitch count that's his size, but I'm going to go up one needle size from what she recommends because that's what I do for him anyway. And I'm going to just go by the length. I'm going to measure that length. Yeah. And measure that length. And just make them the same, but in DK.
Yeah. Good plan.
Yeah. And see how we go. I kind of wish that I could just knit him a simple cowl
rather than
because it's rainbow and I think he'd like it. And I'm not sure he's going to like the DK socks in his shoes.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So I might have words with him before. But this is all because Joe is going, not all because, he sent the yarn and I would have knitted them anyway, but Joe is going to visit next month.
Yeah, at the beginning of April.
And she's going to take all the gifts.
When the flights from Bristol to the Isle of Man start up again.
And you're going to take all the gifts, aren't you?
I am.
And I had planned, so I knitted Dad for Christmas a Simon Cowell.
Yeah.
And in like a lovely yellow, it was Bird Street yarn. It was honey and kestrel on the zebra.
Yeah.
And he loves it and it's really soft and Fran loves it. That's our stepmom. So I found this, she likes blues.
You were going to found,
so I found it was, we think it's...
That's how much is left over.
Blue iguana, I think. And...
So there was a little bit of management of
Simon but Joe very kindly took the yarn and knitted a possibly because I was trying to get my own Simon finished, which I didn't manage. But
so
anyway,
there's a lot of that left over, so you probably could get another one out of that.
But this literally had 33 grams of yarn, and that was left. Yeah. So it was left over from, I think I knitted a crest of a wave cowl. Anyway, so Jo's knitted a Simon.
Fran is quite a small person, so I've reduced the number of stitches. I started with 70 instead of 82. And you start here with a provisional cast on, and then you do some increases, you get to the middle, and normally you knit a lot longer
on Simon.
On the Simon cowl.
Oh, as well. But
I'd weighed the yarn, and I was thinking I'm not going to do too much, and also it's smaller than the circumference is smaller than normal. But I also wanted to do more of the rib at the back, and
but the colours,
some of the blue.
The colours the yarn looks amazing, doesn't it?
Yeah. So let me pop it on. It's not been blocked.
Is that your shawl?
Yeah. Not been blocked.
No, so you're going to block it before you.
Yeah. But I think it fits really well.
Yeah. And it's just for cosy for in your coat.
And she's obviously smaller than me, so I think that'll be perfect.
And she does a lot of like wild water swimming and stuff like that. So even in springtime, she gets cold. Goes out in the
So that'll be just slightly blocked. But I think the effect of that variegated yarn
is beautiful.
Yeah.
It really looks almost like a picture, like a mosaic, like a tile, like a shimmery sea. It's lovely. Hold it a bit closer so they can see the paler colour, because it's gorgeous. You know those tiles you get sheets of that are tiny, for bathrooms, and that you.
So I think if you've got small amount of yarn,
because that was literally normally I have 35 or 40 grams left over from a pair of socks.
And
you could make yourself a cowl.
So that'll be going over to the Isle of Man where I go with those socks.
And take it back with you.
Cool.
And the only thing now to knit is his DK, whatever I knit with his DK yarn. There might be another pair by then as well. I have got some other yarn wound up for him. Right, so that is all our FOs.
Yeah.
So now we're on to whips. And I've got 2 shawls. You've got 1 shawl.
I've got 1 shawl.
You haven't brought everything with you, have you?
I haven't brought anything that I haven't worked on, because I've been mostly working on the things that I finished.
So that's socks.
Apart from Alexander.
That's crochet corner. So we're doing shawls first.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I arrived yesterday. Rachel gave me a very old Kipling bag to put my knitting in.
Yeah. So we had a bit, because of the heat pump scenario, I had to do a bit of tidying up, and I had quite a lot of yarn that wasn't in box, so I've now got lots of tubs of yarn, which Jo is supposed to be helping me go through, but we just sat and watched telly last night. Completely forgot. But he also cleared out under the stairs, and there were lots and lots of bags, proper handbag bags. And now I've got new bags to use. But if you ever visit me at my house, it's very likely that you go home with a bag and a skein of yarn.
People queuing up.
Yeah. So I don't know what people think about it. I've got a lot of project bags that are.
It's funny because I went through my project bags and I can't give them away.
No. But I've got a lot that are like, say, a drawstring like that. I mean, this is Eden Eldenwood Craft, so people would possibly like that one, you know, but not that I'm giving that one away. But a suggestion was that you just paid the postage, and I put them up on D-Stash. So just let us know what you think about that, because yeah, it would help my habit, shall we say. But I haven't actually been through the tubs, things that were already in tubs. So are you going first or am I going first?
Don't mind.
Is that your shawl?
Yeah.
I thought it was in there.
No, it's in here, in there.
Oh right, okay.
They were both in there.
Oh wow. So I've got two. So if I'll do Simon, because we've got to talk about Simon Cowell as well. So I'm doing Simon in Bird Street Yarn, old number 7, and Crema in the merino mohair.
It's beautiful yarn.
Uber Luxe. It's amazing yarn. And I'm going to show you where I'm at.
I've got some skeins of that. I don't know what I'm
So
going to do with it.
we're now on the middle section, and I'm about halfway through the middle. And when I talked about it last, I think I had a couple of repeats of section 3 to do. So I've done all that. I was trying to finish him, but everybody needs something in this yarn. It is absolutely gorgeous. Even if you just buy one skein and make a hat or something, it is just, I love knitting it, knitting with it on him. So
you wait till you're on the decrease. When you're on the decreases and he's like a blanket as you're.
But also, I'm actually finding it quite quick on the middle, bizarrely. But yeah, these are my loom needle stoppers and my unwrapped yarn bunny, who marks where the section starts. So, and then another one actually that marks me. I do every 10 repeats with a little heart, glittery heart. Yeah, so hopefully, I say this all the time, I will
2 weeks
be nearer, on the way, on the other side of it. But I have weighed my yarn.
Tangled up in the zip.
I have weighed my yarn, and Joe has donated a little bit. I'm going to need a little bit more of Crema to finish him. And he's living in my Killing It Every Day Damn Day bag, which is from Joe Knit Sew, and it's got this beautiful inside.
Did somebody let us know that it was Joe Knit Sew?
No, I remembered it was Joe Knit Sew because of her logo on the back. And it's got this handle. I love it. And it's denim. Beautiful bag.
Really nice. Right. My shawl is inside that Kipling bag, is in this bag,
which I want so badly.
Which I want so badly. And it's from Toast. And I got it in the sale because I would never pay Toast prices for a project bag.
If you know, you know.
I can't remember how much it was in sale, but it was reasonable in the sale. But I just loved it with the orange zipper pull.
It's beautiful.
It's got a little pocket inside. I think it is meant to be a project bag. I don't.
Yeah, they sell. They do. They sell.
It's not waterproof or anything, so it's not meant to be a.
No, they sell. They definitely sell project bags.
So this is my Alexander,
who has grown in purple. This is going to be the biggest size.
Yeah, we think we're going to do 3 sizes of Alexander. So this is the large.
It is large.
I started the decreases, so it's over halfway. I made myself some progress keepers so that I had enough to mark the whole
Every section.
project. Yeah.
He's beautiful,
and he's in Peer Gynt, tin Peer Gynt, the thin Peer Gynt, in a grey, dark charcoal, and this light grey tweedy, which has got black and brown neps in it.
And it's going to be, this one is going to be a 2.
Yeah, it's going to be
150
3
grams.
balls of each
Yeah.
one. You won't use all of 3 balls, but you'll need to be going to a 3rd ball. But this is £4.50 a ball.
Mm-hmm.
So
20-30 quid for a...
yeah.
And it's Jo's written the pattern.
I've written the pattern, so
So
it's
it's
ready for people to start testing.
next week.
Yeah, so I'm going to
finishes.
Yeah, Claire finishes on
You
Friday.
have a little week off for you.
No, I'm going to put the test. I'm going to put the form up on Monday probably,
Oh right, cool.
or tomorrow even, and then people can start on.
Can I just say that the Clare test knit is amazing. It's like a little chat about everything. Everything's gone really well, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Don't want to jinx us for the next one, but yeah. So
So,
I'm
yeah.
going to be knitting this.
And
I'm going to be
love
knitting.
it.
I'm going to be knitting a sample for Bird Street
Yeah.
in
So this big one is 11 sections. 11
stripes.
not repeats, but it's 11 stripes. So the medium one is going to be 9 stripes,
and then
the small will be 7 stripes.
and then the middle
And then the-
section
yeah,
is going to increase.
will
Sorry, I
change.
don't need. It's your pen.
The middle bit will increase depending on which one you're doing, because obviously you haven't had to knit so much to get there, so it will be shorter. But it won't be. None of them will be as long as this one.
No.
So this is going to be. I think I've worked out. It's going to be like 77 inches
Mm-hmm.
long.
So the form will be on Instagram,
Yeah.
linked in our link tree. But you're allowed the form
I
to
could
do.
put it on the Facebook group.
You
as well.
could. And then I just love when Jo does stripy ones, the eye cord. It's like the tail of that monkey,
Yeah.
lemur. Is it a
Yeah.
lemur? Is it a monkey?
So I've got
Oh,
another
probably not
version that
a
I'm going to
lemur.
I'm going to knit a medium one in the Nelly and Eve
Ooh,
yarn.
yeah, you got. Mine's going to be
the brown
A medium.
and the cream, and that you should be able to get a medium out of 200 gram skeins, because you won't be knitting all
Yeah.
of this.
but it's gorgeous. It is just
Yeah, I love
amazing.
them. I love them.
So that'll start next Friday.
Yeah, so next Saturday will be everybody
A
can-
week. Yeah. And then my other little shawl, I have done it. It's
I'm going to send you the pattern so you can have a read and tell me
Okay.
what you think it.
okay. That's fine. So I have been knitting in this gorgeous. I've wound it up now into a ball, but it's this gorgeous Isaiah soft fine yarn.
Oh yeah.
In colour 36.
Would you call it chartreuse, or
Kind
would you call it pear?
Yeah, like a muted, I think pear. And it's alpaca silk and yak. Similar weight and yarn, like skein length to Surrey alpaca
Oh, it's gorgeous.
silk. And this is colour 36. And this is my first ball, and I am on section.
Oh my god, I want this. I want some.
3. So that marks the section. I think when I showed it last time, I was about here. And it's just, I just do like 30 minutes, not even every day really. But some days I really don't want to put it down, but I may force myself. So, but it is gorgeous, and it's going to be like nothing but warmth, and it is beautiful. Are we going to Oxford Yarn Store later?
I think we might be.
So yeah.
Oh, it's
So
gorge.
it is gorge. So that is from Oxford Yarn. You can get it in Oxford Yarn Store. Let's do a little plug for Lizzie. We love Lizzie.
We haven't been there for
We haven't
a little hot minute.
We haven't been there this year. It is March.
Yeah.
So I highly recommend. And this is Paige, which is the garter one from Jo's Power of 3 pattern, where there are 3 designs. One's lace, one's texture, and one's garter. And that's my Paige, and she is living in my redesign pouch, which Jo also bought me as a present. Oh my goodness, you are the most generous, lovely sister.
Was that the day you went very well and I went to...
I went back to the car. I hated Wonderwall. And I just went and sat in the car, and Jo arrived back at the car with a present for me. And it's got a little unwrapped yarn flower on the progress keeper on the thing, just in case you need a progress keeper at all times. Right, so that is my shawls.
Cool.
And now we have socks.
How many socks have you got?
2. I've got a vanilla, a patterned, and a new design.
Okay.
Shall I do vanilla, my vanilla, then you do your vanilla?
Mm-hmm.
So my vanilla is living in this little, which I showed before, Eldenwood Craft bag, which I think kind of goes. Don't really have one that matches this yarn. And this is, do you want to hold it for me? Just vanilla, but for some reason I did 20 rounds for the cup. Which I'm going to regret when I do the second one.
This is very woolly sock yarn.
Yeah, so it's wool and mohair, and it is from Fleece and Harmony. If you watch their podcast,
Oh, I do. They're great.
It's their point prim sock in the colourway Sea Glass, and this lovely. It reminded me of spring.
Yeah, it's
kind of flowers,
spring,
and I've got
spring-like.
flower stitch stoppers.
Oh, they're cute.
And
where are they from?
They were in. I bought a little bottle.
Oh yes,
with
I remember.
pink and
And the thing I bought you, the little heart I bought you.
yeah. And these, my lovely friend Maggie
Brought it back from
yeah.
her holiday.
We
We were very jealous of that holiday.
Yes.
I'd love to go to Prince Edward
Island.
Island.
Yeah.
Because I'm a big Anne of Green Gables fan,
Yeah, but
apart
just
from anything
show-
else, but I'm also a big fan of...
Show the halo.
Yeah, because it's got mohair, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's what keeps it...
So there's no nylon, and
I wonder how much it would cost to ship.
I think you can buy stuff from there.
Yeah, you
Sure.
can. They do ship internationally. but-
They don't always, because they make their own yarn and dye it.
Yeah.
They don't always have it in stock, but it's lovely. And
I think it's the mohair that they don't... I guess
Right.
they have one... Like you only shear sheep once a year,
they have
don't
one.
you?
Yeah, they have one. Yes, it just says wool. It doesn't say what wool it is, but it is lovely. And I was just thinking then, our oldest friend, Teresa, who we've been friends with this year's 50 years since we met at primary school. And she was staying last weekend, and I was meeting them, and she sort of said, "Oh, they're beautiful." So I was thinking, oh, maybe I'll give them to her as a present. And then I thought to myself, there's no nylon. There's no nylon in the yarn. Very hard to wash for somebody who doesn't necessarily wash socks, and also quite a precious skein that Maggie bought me. So I think they're gonna stay in my house. And yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I've been wearing socks a lot more lately, and hand knitted socks, and I also washed all my hand knitted socks recently. And there was about 30 pairs. It's awful, isn't it? But I do only wear my socks once. They are self-cleaning.
Oh, I don't. I wear them lots before I wash them.
And it was lovely though, having all the clean socks. Yeah, so that's my vanilla ones.
I've done a bit on my sock. Some of you might be surprised how much I've done. And my yarn is from Snuggly Stars Yarns.
Oh yeah, I remember the thick
Yeah, very substantial
skein board band.
Yeah, and it's called Dusty Demelza.
Oh, I love it.
And it's superwash merino nylon with some gold stellina.
Was she at in it. Is that the summer wool show? Is that where we saw her?
Yeah, she goes there, and she also, I think she was at the Southern as well. I think I bought this at the Southern.
Right.
And I have done the leg of my sock.
You're on the heel flap.
And I'm on the heel flap.
And she has to finish the heel flap.
I do, because Rachel's lent me the
VPNs.
VPNs. I might have to put the stitches onto it and take it home. Anyway,
sorry.
yeah. So it's always interesting what the yarn's going to look like on the heel flap.
It's lovely. You look lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think you should try and finish that sock by the next.
Finish this one sock.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I can do that.
And then I took this yarn to Unravel to start a sock, but I didn't actually do anything. And then we were going to talk about these bags that we bought as well. So there's a company called Turtle, which is TRTL on Instagram. And they sell, the main thing they sell, or they were known for, was this neck kind of thing for travelling that is, you wrap around your neck like a, well, it's not important for this bit, but it's really, it's like, it's better than the ones that, it's more stabilising than the kind of donutty ones that let you still get a quick neck from. But we were Instagram does it again, but we saw these bags. Have I shown it? Did I show them?
I don't think so.
This gorgeous inside, which is a limited edition, but it's quite recent. And these are their packing bags for travelling, but I'm obviously using it as a project bag. This is a small. In the pack, you get 3 or 5 in a pack, and you get a strap, so you can use it as a day pack, like a day pack.
And they're designed so that you can hang them up.
Yeah, you can hang
in
them
the
up,
hotel with
or whatever you've got in.
Yeah.
You can put your, dirty laundry in one when you're travelling, and then they've got this.
And then they've got all these different. You can put a belt, like a strap through there, and
all sorts of things. But these ones are really cute because of the
lemon
inside. And this is I'm using as a project bag for my Mammy and Florrie. So I posted this on Instagram. I don't know if you saw it. So this is Mammy and Florrie. You want to hold that? And it is sunset at Flandonna Beach. And it's in their adventure sock, which is BFL and nylon. And I have to say, I think this might be becoming my favourite sock yarn. So my new design's in their yarn as well, but it's just gorgeous. I mean, I posted on Instagram. It's like
Malabrigo.
It's me in a skein.
Malabrigo sock.
Well, I haven't knitted with Malabrigo for so long that I need to wind a skein and knit some. But the heel, so I knitted the poppy field or whatever it was, yarn, poppies,
secret poppy field.
And I just loved the heel flap, and it's inspired me to do something, which I may eventually do. But this is my Francesca sock pattern, which is not that easy to see on the camera, but there's like eyelets.
Can you put a stock blocker into the top bit?
Maybe. But it's
the foot of the sock blocker.
Yeah, it is a garter and eyelet pattern, and this broken rib, kind of garter rib, oh my god, cuff, what should I say? And then and it's just gorgeous. I just love it when I come to the little pink lip when I'm knitting, so I enjoy knitting every stitch. And yeah, it's just lovely yarn. And so I'm on the gusset with this one as well. But yeah, I finished 2 pairs and started 2 pairs. Well, 3 because I've got. Yeah, so probably highly recommend these little bags. And Mammy and Florrie sock yarn. So one more. And we have got Crochet Corner this time. So Joe's going to be. So this is living in my new beautiful latest little grey girl bag. Love the bunnies. Absolutely stunning colours. And this is going to be this year's Myloma sock design. And it's in pumpkins at the Botanical Gardens in Glasgow.
Maybe you just call the socks that.
Orange. What?
Pumpkins at the
Botanical Yarn.
Botanical Gardens in Glasgow.
Yeah, so we're trying to think of a name for them, because up until now we've had morning beautiful, evening beautiful, everyone's beautiful, simply beautiful. And Joe said always beautiful. Let's see what you think, because this is the design, which is kind of a checkerboard of eyelets on reverse stocking stitch with, where's the light that I need to catch it? Which way?
I think you can see it.
Yeah. So it's just the start of it. They're going to be long ones this year. And yeah, again, loving this adventure sock yarn. So keep an eye out for, obviously they won't be released until June for Myloma awareness, but let us know a name if you can think of anything beautiful or
beautiful something.
Yeah, that would.
Beautiful pumpkin. Don't know.
Beautiful square. Yeah, so I just started those this week, and yeah, they will be in progress. And I actually think I might do these stitches, they also came with the sunflowers, these kind of leopard print pink, but I'm gonna I do want to knit a shorty pair as well, so there might be enough yarn left over. Let's wait and see. Right, so that is all the knitting, and just very quickly, should we do crochet?
Yeah, do Crochet Corner.
Oh yes. Crochet corner. That's supposed to be a C. C. Crochet corner. So I finished, but I haven't sewn the ends in yet, and I haven't blocked it. But that was so I could see where the back was.
Does it matter where the back is?
No, but that's my.
Oh right, okay.
That's what I'm saying. Sticking to my reasoning for not sewing the end in yet. So this is the Montgomery cowl in Yarn Smith.
Oh yes.
Yarn merino sock in the fjord blue colourway.
Nice.
So it is knitted. There's a knitted rib section, and then crochet, and then you just finish off with the scallopy edge, which will show more once I've blocked it. And
do you have to get to a certain point in the pattern, or can you just
it's
finish?
It's a 2-row pattern.
Oh right, okay. So you can just finish when the yarn runs out.
So you don't need to worry. I think I had a gram left.
You also have to complete a round, but
yeah. And also with crochet,
you just pull it out.
Yeah. So let me just show you the pattern a bit closer. Now there's more of it. I just love it. I love the texture. And this is, so I've also got to do the shawl, and I'm going to start testing it this week. I'm going to make myself do it. I have procrastinated about this too long. Ooh,
yeah.
Pull on the blog. yeah, so keep an eye out. I've said this before, but yes, test to crochet.
Is the pattern written?
Almost.
Right,
I've got
okay.
to measure it,
Right.
and I need pictures from you of the other shawl, and then I showed some yarn that I got from Yorkshire Yarn Fest, from the wool kitchen, that I was going to design something crochet in, and I had an idea, but so I had mohair and this merino silk fingering weight yarn in the Skyfall colourway, so there's both the same colourway, but it didn't work for the design that I had an idea for. So I did it I did like what I'm going to show you now. I did up to here, so I unpicked it and redone it now that Helen has sent me this amazing mohair. So
that's really lovely. Actually, it's coral, but it's got like a pink overwash.
So the kits,
like a set, like a cerise.
Yeah. So the kits will be,
it glows.
A mini mohair and a skein of yarn, and this one is bottom up because it's supposed to resemble flowers.
So you've got knitting on the bottom.
So knitting rib and knitting on top. So I did think about, it's optional, you could do it that way round and stop there and have that on the bottom, or you can do the next bit of the pattern, which will be a little bit more of the, and then pick up stitches and knit a border.
How easy is it to pick up stitches?
Oh, it's very easy because you have
the whole chain. Oh,
you just knit into the stitch, and there's always 8 stitches in.
All right, that's cool.
So yeah, so it's twisted 1 by 1 twisted rib this time. Whoops. So yeah, so if that's the bottom, you can see the flower. They look like a bit like flowers, and they are staggered. You know, it's like that's one repeat of the pattern. Yeah. So you get 2. Yeah. So no idea what it's going to be called. No idea when it's going to be finished, but we were hoping to get it out for Big Flock, which seems very close now.
May.
Yeah. Probably finish it this week.
You wouldn't write the pattern.
I could write the pattern, yeah. Yeah, finish it. I could finish it this week as well. That's what I focused on. So yeah, so that is my new design. Should I mention what bag it's living in? It is living in a bag that I got from Folkestone Harbour Yarns at
Waltham
Abbey, whatever that one's called. Was it Waltham Abbey? Yeah, it's lovely, like Marimekko print, which is Sakura, cherry blossom. Yeah. So that is the final.
I've got my yarns for my new designs.
Oh right, cool.
I've got 2 new ideas. And some of the yarn you'll have seen because I only got it at Unravel. And then I bought skeined so that you can see it in the skein as well. So the first idea that I've got is for a shawl. I don't know if I've mentioned it on here, but a shawl that can come apart and become a cowl. And it's going to be in quite a plain. It's going to be quite a plain pattern, possibly some garter and some rib. And I just wanted it to look. And then the button, you button it together. And the buttons will be brightly, hopefully brightly coloured from, I'm hoping to get some from Ethel and Joan. Or you could have neutral buttons as well, or whatever you, obviously
there's lots of
you can knit it in, you can crochet it, you can knit it in any whatever colour you want. But I had this yarn from Telling Yarn, which is their Resolute base, which is oh, where's it gone? Here we go. Blueface Leicester, Romney, Masham, and was Warbles. And it's this, the natural is this lovely sort of creamy grey with a grey heather.
Yeah,
kind of,
from the darker sheet.
From that was Warbles.
Yeah.
So that's mine's caked up,
It's beautiful.
ready to go. Yeah. So as soon as
Definitely woolly wool.
yeah,
But
as soon as I finished Alexander.
well,
I'm going to
this
cast
the one that
one
John
other one on.
Arben spins for her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to cast one of these on straight away, I think.
Yeah.
And then the second one is with the Mammy and Flory yarn that I got at Unravel, which is Ice Wind in Reykjavik. It's a merino single.
It's beautiful.
And it is beautiful. And then that's going to be, this is the one with the mohair I-cord. And I'm trying to decide whether I want to do a pattern on the shawl or something really fairly.
You were just about ice violets and garter, really. I think that'd be nice.
Yeah. So I love those colours together.
Beautiful.
So the mohair is, what colour's the mohair? Yondel Park, Amsterdam.
Wow. I wonder what she
Yeah.
saw there.
Yeah. And the, what 3 words? Grass, helped, staked. But yeah. So watch this space and see if you like the new
Definitely.
designs that are going to come.
Amazing, Jo.
I love a single.
I do as well.
Looking forward to it.
Might have to buy some. So I don't have a lot of singles.
Yeah.
I've got some non-superwash merino, which I guess is singles because there's no nylon in it. But
So what are we moving on to next?
now we are going to do new pattern purchases, which I don't have any of, but Jo has 2 that she wants to talk about. And then acquisitions, and then we've got our little section on podcasts and things.
Yeah.
So, I want to talk about your. That's not the first one.
No. So I've bought a few patterns recently, and these are 2 that I am definitely going to make. And in fact, I'm going to cast. This is going to be the first thing I cast on, I think.
So
this
this
is not my pattern. This is the Darcy Cape. It's by Lynette, which is by Len Holm Samso,
which is we're not sure
which
how to
we're just trying to
pronounce.
pronounce. It's got one of those funny.
We think
O's.
is Icelandic.
So I think she's Danish.
Oh right, Danish.
And it's so I've read through the pattern.
It's like looks like a yoke before you.
You
fit the
start, yeah.
sleeves.
You start at the neck. You don't do the collar. You cast on here, and then it's almost like a saddle shoulder. There's different rates of
Press that.
there's different rates of increase to create the yoke, and then you split
Right.
here.
What's it called again?
The Darcy Cape. And I just happened to
Lovely.
notice that it was on the front page of Ravelry, and I was like, I was wearing a poncho yesterday, and I was thinking that would be a lovely.
Yeah.
It's a nice shape because I really like the idea of a dicky or whatever, but I would just sit in that at home when I'm working and stuff.
And you could just put it on. You could drive in that really easily. Yeah.
And then the second one is called Sprinkles, and it's by Lone Kedgelson.
All the information will be down below.
And I've had quite a few of her. I've not knit any of them yet, but this one.
The neck looks quite similar to mine.
Yeah,
Mine's quite a deep.
I think it's using scraps to create the stripes.
Yeah. It's lovely.
So, and it's got, I like the really big...
Is it fingering weight?
Yeah, I like the really big pocket. Having said that, I don't 100% know it's fingering weight. It might be holding, I think it's holding 2 strands together.
Right.
And then you drop one of the strands and, marl it. So it's not, where you bring the other yarn in.
So it's like leftovers, but she's very much placed them.
Yeah. So I don't know whether I'm going to do stripes. I might just knit it in one colour.
Okay.
And I'm thinking that yarn, the Debbie Bliss, the tweedy one.
Find on a ball.
Because I like that.
As well. The sleeves are quite...
I like that Fine Donegal at a higher gauge.
Yeah.
Lower gauge, higher gauge. On a bigger needle.
Lower gauge.
And I think that would look really nice in that. I've got like a, I've got a grey and I've got a bluey colour.
So is that her?
I think so.
Very cute. The picture. Love it.
So yeah, so those 2 things, because I haven't knit a garment for a long time, but I've got quite a lot of garment quantities of yarn. So I've just been looking at them. And when that one in particular was on, she's just published it, so it had a deal. Yeah. Cool. So cool. Hope you like those 2.
Now it's acquisitions.
Well, there's not many acquisitions.
No, one thing really.
I bought I'll go very quick because these are just
okay.
I had to buy 2 more balls of the tin pig int for my Alexander. So I popped to No Frills this week and bought those. This one is the same dye lot, this one isn't.
Right.
But it's not far off.
No.
And when you stripe those together, you are not going to see the difference. Yeah, I was very tempted to buy other colours as well, but I was good and I just bought that.
To restrain yourself.
I did.
Well, Jo made me some new progress keepers. So I now have a set. If I want to use...
look at the little hook thing they're on.
It's really cute. Where did you get that from?
Amazon.
Little lobs, so I can clip them into my bag. Very cute. And then I couldn't resist this. It just had to be bought. So,
Rachel's got a rubber arm that gets twisted behind her back.
I also regretted not buying anything from Pixie Yarn at Unravel. So she had an update, and these were her Untamed Spring 2025 minis. So she did them in 50 gram, 100 gram, and so you could buy. I think you could buy each individual, some of them individually, and then some as sets. So I thought this would be lovely as either a one skein fade or a fade through one of Jo's patterns that's striped with another yarn.
So either a Maggie or a Simon
or a Alexander
or a Claire or a John.
Yeah. So the actually John would be lovely. And I've got a Bird Street yarn colourway called Zest, which is a lime yellow, which I think would look lovely.
Nice.
And very spring-like.
And of course, you couldn't resist that.
No, well, they were such good value.
And they go so well together.
Yeah, so it's just this beautiful spring project bag. And of course, you get a lovely little note from Sophie on, and now I want to buy that. Because it is just amazing. I think it's called Go Orange or something. I don't know. Orange.
Could that be the name of the socks? Go Orange. And then my last acquisition, which I think I might use for that cape, is this cone of yarn. So the cape is knit with fingering and mohair held together. And I, while that's lovely and drapey, it does make it quite expensive.
And I don't always want mohair all the time.
No, and so anyway, I bought this cone off one of the ladies in my knit group. She'd bought it and she thinks it's superwash and she doesn't knit with superwash yarn.
Right.
And so she was selling it on. And I love, we all know I love a murky green. So it's like a browny green. It's got blues and reds and brown. And
Heathered.
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful.
And it's got a little, I think it's got a little bit of a halo as well. So I'm going to knit the cape in that, I think. And that's a good, like if I really like it, I can go and buy some fancy. But yeah.
And I also think, and you've got 500 grams there. And I also think that it's not quite DK, is it?
No.
But if you,
on a 4mm, I think it'll be quite nice.
And also you can, seems like quite simple.
Well, you can also make it, you don't have to have it quite so long, do you? If I'm just going to wear it sat at my desk.
Yeah. So perfect.
So yeah, so and that cape actually only uses, the biggest size uses 400 grams, and that's a 4X.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm going to be knitting a 4X.
Lovely.
Unless we eat some more pan au raisin. Anyway, yeah. So lots of things to cast on, lots of things to finish.
Yeah.
And obviously we're going to have to cast on a Botanical Yarn sock club sock as well. I know which one I want to do.
I know which one I'm going to do as well.
Is it the same one? November
2024. Yeah. Wow. And
I've got the perfect yarn.
2023.
Yes, I've got the perfect yarn as well.
Have you?
Got some cream Edelweiss. Oh, from Kremke.
I've got some Earl Grey fibre yarn.
So yeah.
Yes, we should have used Botanical Yarn, shouldn't we?
We should.
I think I've got some.
I've got a lot of non-superwash.
I think I've got some left.
I've got a lot of non-superwash. And let's have a look.
Yes.
Cool.
Exciting, no? So now we're going to last episode we introduced a new section about podcasts that we were watching, and then a friend commented that maybe we should talk about more things that what we're watching on TV and what we're reading or listening to as far as books go. So we thought we'd just talk about that now. So if you're not interested in this bit, thank you for watching. And let us know what you think of this section. We've just literally written down what we are on our notes, so we haven't decided what we're going to say about the things or anything. But I think we'll start with podcasts because that's where this little section started. And so the one that I've watched this week, and I've watched her for a long time, is it's called Friend to Knit With, but I think her channel is just Leslie Friend. And she started with a blog. Yeah, so she's been kind of on the scene for a long time. She's designed a few kind of basic. She knits a lot of. She wears a lot of neutrals, not much colour, but she's American, and her podcasts tend to be about 20 minutes, so they're quite nice just to watch if you've got a little bit of time to spare. And I just love her aesthetic, and she's very friendly. Obviously, Friend to Knit.
I think her surname is Friend, isn't it?
Yeah, Leslie Friend, and yeah, she's just a lovely lady, I would say. So Jo will link her latest episode in the show notes. And you've been watching
The Fruitful Hands.
They've got had a new episode.
Yeah. So they're a mother and daughter based in Kentucky in America. And it's just a lovely they talk about chatty. They talk about their FOs, what they've been up to, and that sort of thing. And just a normal podcast, but they're it's really nice to see the interaction between mother and daughter. There's a couple of they don't podcast very often anymore, but that
knitting,
and that I just like seeing the interaction between the mother and daughter.
Yeah.
So it's really,
or sisters, I suppose.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I've watched recently.
Yeah, so we thought we'd just mention a couple each time.
Yeah.
And because I've, as I've said many times, knitting podcasts aren't really there's a few I watch as they come up, but aren't really my go-to anymore. And so I've been watching a few kind of like vloggers, like lifestyle vloggers. So I might talk about those. They're not.
Yeah, I watched
not knitting, but creative people.
I watched a podcast about menopause with Davina McCall.
Yeah,
and that's a really good one. If there's lots of topics on there, but it was a really good.
For women of a certain age.
Yeah, that was really interesting.
Cool. So then we just thought when Jo comes to visit, this series has just come to an end, and it is a UK series. So I don't know, people have access, I think, to a lot more UK shows around the world than they used to. But the last episode was last week, but I always save it so that Jo and I can watch it together. And it's called The Good Ship Murder.
And it's 2 seasons.
Yeah, 2 seasons and a Christmas episode. And it's just about a European cruise ship, and they go to a different port and somebody gets murdered. So it's a very British kind of.
It's in the vein of
Agatha Christie
and Death in Paradise
and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's just a feel good.
A little bit cheesy, a little bit, and they're always going to solve the murder.
But you kind of like the characters, and
there's a little bit of backstory going on, and will they get together? Won't they get together?
So recommend that one.
Yeah. And the other thing I've watched this week, which is also a murder thing, is The Unforgotten.
Oh yeah, that's
Unforgotten. Which is a series about not cold cases, but they find
they're old cases, aren't they?
Bones rather than and then it's all about the history, and they go back, so sometimes decades to try and work out who the person is.
But it is amazing, really, the records that we've got in this country.
Yeah. And that was well. Chris and I weren't so enamoured by
season 3.
This season. At the end of it, we were like,
season 4.
Yeah, I think so.
Because the first 2 seasons have one of our favourite actresses, Nicola Walker, in them from Susan Spooks, which is a brilliant show.
If you want to watch Spooks.
British show. And then probably shouldn't say she'd leave, but she does.
Yeah, and she's replaced by somebody else, and I like her, but this season it got to the end, and we both looked at each other and went, "Oh," but they've commissioned it for another season.
Yeah.
So it had rave reviews.
I enjoyed it.
I think it's because we watched it all. We watched it over 3 nights, and it felt like a lot of our time.
Like if you have a week in between.
Yeah. I don't know, but I really enjoyed it, and I like the characters. Yeah. There's some really, it's a bit like Vera in that you get to know the other police people as well and whatever. So enjoyed it.
So Vera is brilliant.
Oh
show.
Yeah.
If so it's been around for a long time. There's about 14 seasons. It's finished now. This year was the last season, but Jo and I watched that. Like we'll just say, what do you watch? Oh, she just watched Vera. Because
it's like watching a film because they're
2 hours long. Yeah. And if you knit and watch it, and there's also so many of them, you don't always remember who did it.
Yeah.
So it's a police drama. So,
and even if you kind of vaguely remember the story, you don't remember who's done it.
So it's very entertaining, and an evening when we're knitting and watching it again. Love that. So do you want to talk about what you're reading?
Not particularly. I'd rather talk about what I've been listening to.
Yeah. I don't read books. I listen to audiobooks and podcasts.
I music as well.
Yeah.
So I realised, I don't know, I listen to Apple Music.
Yeah, I do as well.
And it came up with a new playlist for me of my most listened to songs,
Right.
which was really nice. I was just like,
Oh, so you've downloaded all that music? It's music you've got in your library.
yeah, and like the
Not
things,
news to you.
no,
Stuff, no.
and the things that I listen, because there is a new to you thing.
Yeah. That
Or
they
what's
put
popular
similar to-
or whatever. Yeah.
Similar to what you listen to.
But
Yeah.
it was the ones that I've listened to, and it was interesting to
Yeah.
like, because I know that the top song I listened to, or whatever, from the charts that
End
they
of
do
the
at the
year,
end of
yeah.
the year. But it was interesting to see, and it's mostly Taylor Swift, Billy Bragg, and Snow Patrol.
3 completely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mine would just be Taylor Swift because basically.
Oh,
that's
Billie Eilish.
Billie Eilish. I listen to.
I was listening to Chapel Roan, just a reel of her singing a. Oh my god, I can't remember the name of the band. Like a really old band from the 60s. One of their songs.
Yeah.
And she sounded amazing. I'm like, I'm definitely going to go listen to her. So,
Pink Pony. Have you heard that?
no. So anyway, yeah. So I've been listening to some of that.
Taylor was robbed.
Oh,
and Billie
shut
Eilish
up.
were robbed at the Grammys. And I did make Joe listen to, I mean, apologies to, I actually really like Beyonce, but I don't know who thinks Cowboy Carter is an amazing, I just couldn't listen to it. Anyway,
That's Rachel's
in my opinion, utter dirge. I would say. So yeah.
And then books you're listening to.
I'm listening to a series. So I listen on Audible, and I also listen on an app called Everand. Both are paid for apps. I used to use our Libby app a lot, but then you have to wait, and I just pay for it.
My library seems to have stopped using Libby.
Really?
Yeah.
So I'm listening to a series of about 2 women. One's a detective, and one's like an English police woman, and a forensic psychologist, and they're called Cavendish and Walker. And on Audible you can get 3 book compilations, and I'm on book 3 of 1 to 3, so that's 1 credit.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, and they're by an author called Sally Rigby. So obviously book 1 is where they meet, and then she uses the forensic psychologist to help solve the crimes. And
you like them as characters?
I like them as characters because she's a PhD doctor, and it's quite, and then she's an academic at the university. Just quite.
Where's
like
it
that.
set?
It's set in I think it's a made-up town called Lenchester. And it's the 3rd best university after Oxford and Cambridge. So,
you'd have to. I guess there's technically a.
You could say you're Oxford. You could talk about Oxford if you knew about Oxford University or
But
Cambridge
she's obviously
University.
made up a town or a city.
So that's good. And there's I know there's at least 9. There's at least 2 more compilations
that's
I can
cool.
get. Yeah. So when I find a series, I'm quite like. When I find a book I like, I quite like that there's a series.
Yeah.
So I listened to that, and I have got Onyx Storm left to listen to, but I need a little break, and didn't want to feel like I was rushing straight into it from book 2, because I only listened to those recently. That's the 4th Wing series by
I haven't listened to any of that yet.
Have you got them?
What's the first one called?
4th Wing.
I think I've got that.
Yeah. So that's talking more than we wrote down. And then at the moment you're actually listening to
The Wedding Party by Robin Carr,
who is the lady. Well, the voice is the narrator is the lady, the
Therese
voice that you
Plummer.
love, that you really like that you started listening to from
Virgin River
series, and you follow her voice, don't like you listen to books but also Robin Carr wrote Virgin River.
Yeah, I listen to books that Therese Plummer reads. Yeah, I had there's a whole set series by Irene somebody who I listened to just because of Therese Plummer. Yeah. But I like a nice, story where...
Like in a town.
Yeah, and you meet all these people, and then often the next story is about somebody that you've met in the book, and then it just carries on the story. This one is about a lady who was married, got divorced within a year, had a kid, got divorced, but the ex-husband stayed in the kid's life. 25 years later, she's going out with this guy, and she decides that she's going to marry him, and it's all about how they're planning their wedding. Right. And it's quite I don't know, just
what's going to happen.
Yeah,
but no, I was going to say something then about you. What did you just say? Oh, things that lead on. Because I watched Virgin River on Netflix, couple of seasons. Started listening to the books, realised how much they'd changed the story. Got very frustrated with don't listen to the book but haven't watched them.
Oh, I've read all the books. I've actually I started listening to them, and then I started reading them because I was listening to them too quickly. And I wanted it to take a bit longer, so I started reading them, and then I did the same thing with Bridgerton. I listened to the first one, and then I read the rest of them. I like the TV series as well. I don't think of it as the same thing.
I couldn't get back into. I left it for a while and I tried to watch it again, and it's not what I want to go to when I go to watch something. So anyway, there's a few things for you to recommend. We'll put all the information recommend.
There's not a lot we can link to, so
no, but you'll write all the details. Like you'll write the name and the author of this bit, won't you?
Well, we've said it.
Yeah,
doesn't matter anyway.
It's only that. Yes. So I hope that hasn't been too long. A little rambly bit about what we're watching.
I can't believe that next time we meet up is when we go to East Anglia. Crazy. So you'll be coming for the Friday night, won't you? No, yes, I will. It's the week time after that I've got to talk to you about.
And then so but at some point we'll podcast, maybe Sunday morning in the apartment before we go to the next day. It's very exciting.
Is our Sunday ticket at 11 as well?
No, when it opens.
Oh right.
Might be an early start.
I was just thinking that.
So but look out for the test call.
And
potentially my test call. And have a lovely 2 weeks before the next episode, knitting. And if any of you are going to EAYF, let us know. Very excited.
All the people who've won, get in touch.
Let us know let us know your address.
Go onto our Facebook group and join in the Knit-a-thon. All those things.
Very exciting episode. So take care.
Cool. And happy knitting.
Happy knitting.
We'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Bye.